Absolutely. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, it's very difficult for me. It's about the habits.
Hmm.
When I go to my office, it's easy to go work and continue. And as I'm at home for the quarantine, as until 13 April, it's very difficult to continue to work a lot with the family just next to me. So yeah, my habits are down right now. So it's difficult for me to continue lead generate and keep the business going.
Okay. Awesome. So this could be a great, because on several calls, we've been talking about our habits. And, I know some of our awesome people here on this call, they are participating in Atomic Habits, a book that I've read and we've all talked about, a great book. So, and I had another client who, he was just needing that extra hour. And now that his wife is home and he's home and they have small children, it's been very hard for him. So here's something that you can do in regards to your family and finding that time with them so that they know how important it is for you to be able to have two 1 to 2 hours, whatever it is that you can get in order to lead generate. So there are 4 steps to effective communication. The first are the facts, right, Steve? So for example, listen, right now, lead generating is the most important thing that I can be doing at this moment. Because of the shift, we have to not just double, but we should do 4 times the amount of lead generating necessary so that I can keep the business going and feeding my pipeline during this time. And then what emotion are you feeling because you're not able to have the time that you need to lead generate? Well, right now at this moment, I'm in fear. I'm feeling fearful right now because if I don't have the time that I need to lead generate, we won't have closings and I won't be able to support my family. So I'm feeling fearful right now. And I have a team that also is relying on me. And then what 4 human needs? There's acceptance, affirmation, appreciation, and attention. Of those 4, what is it that you're desiring or you're needing that you're not getting, right? The acceptance or the appreciation of your efforts that you need to make in order to support your family and your team. Right now, I need the acceptance that I'm missing the acceptance and the of being able to have that time. And what would you like the end result to be? And you can also say, hey, I'd love to make this a win-win. If we're able to work together and give me 2 hours, and here's what, so my client who did this with his wife, he texted me back. He's like, success. She not only gave me an hour, she gave me 2 hours. All I have to do is make breakfast every morning, clean up, and then help with the laundry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
awesome. So how can you make it a win-win, Steve, with your, with your family in order to give you that time that you need?
Yeah, probably if I make the food,
Mm-hmm.
they gave me some hours. Yeah, but another difficulty we have because I do lead generate too, but they say okay, let's talk about that in 3 weeks if the situation is good or anything like that. So it's difficult to have listings right now. So it's not they are not signed, so they're not there. The job is on pause.
Okay.
I have the feeling the job is on pause, and we have to wait 3 weeks for getting all the listing we should.
So, well, let's do some role play today, because this is what, and it's around that, which was one thing that we talked about in shift 5, tactic 5, which is your pipeline. And so some of y'all didn't have the opportunity to be the agent. I would love it if whomever wasn't the agent on the last call, y'all are the agent, and then someone else will be the client. So what we're going to do is we're going to handle, and I'm going to write the objection handlers in the chat screen for those of you that are new to this call. So the first question, so when you're calling your pipeline, because this is all about getting new business right now, right? So we're being creative, and how powerful is it that we're able to find and survive during this time? So being creative is looking at your pipeline, looking at where you can get business, which we're doing a lot of online social media and community stuff. So when we're going back and we're looking at our pipeline and we're reassessing their motivation. Okay, so reassessing their motivation. And some of us have had, well, I'm just not ready to sell at the moment. I'm just not ready to sell at the moment. So when they give us that objection, the first question that we ask is, what causes you to make that decision? Okay. So that's the first question that and I know we did this last Wednesday, yet I think it's so important that we get really, really good at objection handling in this time. We want to isolate the objection, okay, and we want to drill it down.
Hey, Teresa, we have a ton of people from Lodi, Tracy, and Stockton on here. However, I just sent them the link. And so it says your name. As you can see, you're on here quite a few times. So,
oh, that's okay.
Okay, I just want you to be able to call on them as well, if possible.
Okay, well then they just need to put their name in the chat. Yep, because when I asked you, okay, and then the next question, or the next is to acknowledge and validate. So I hear you, and it's understandable. Then the third is the conditional close. If we were able to, then would you? Fourth, handle, and fifth, we close them. Okay. So of the clients I coach right now, who did not get to go last week as the agent?
I didn't go as the agent.
Okay, Tara, you're going to be the agent. And Jodine, I'd like for you to be the lead that she follows up on, whether you're a buyer or a seller.
Okay.
And use something that, Tara, you've experienced really quick. Scenario.
Well, the scenario I'm experiencing is kind of reverse. I have people calling wanting to see houses, and I'm not comfortable showing it to them. So,
okay. Well, you know what?
I'm still trying to figure out how best to handle that personally, because I'm the one scheduling the appointments, because they actually want to physically go out, and I'm like, should I go out, wear a mask? So
okay, well let's do a little work separate from that.
Yeah, because that's separate.
Yeah, that's more mindset with you and what and how we could handle that. So Jodine, what have you what resistance are you getting in regards to when you're calling your pipeline or leads? What are they telling you? Are they ready to buy or sell? Or are they asking you to put it off?
I've got a couple that are wanting to put it off. I've got some folks that are in the process of moving here, but his self-employed business is taking a hit.
Okay, Perfect. So that'll be the scenario. So when Tara calls you, that's your problem. Okay? Okay, let me get my timer set.
And it's Jodine, right?
It's Jodine. Yeah, Tara, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jodine.
Okay, ready? Go.
Hi, Jodine. This is Tara with Keller Williams Realty. I was just giving a call to see if you're still looking forward to moving forward with selling your home.
Oh, Tara, I think we're going to need to push it off until all of this blows over. All of this virus stuff blows over.
Yeah, Jodine, I totally understand your concern. What causes you to make that decision, Jodine? Just curious.
Well, as you know, I'm self-employed and I have kind of a subscription business, and I've had several of my clients cancel their subscription. So my income is down at this point.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. And Jodine, it's interesting. You are totally not the only one that's experiencing, the effects of the economy with the virus. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I understand.
Hold on, Tara, sorry, don't mean to interrupt. Acknowledge, I hear what you're saying, and it's understandable. You validated, yet you missed the acknowledgement. So let's go back.
When I say I hear what you're saying, that's not acknowledging?
Repeating what she said to you. I hear what you're saying, that blah, 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 and it's understandable. So you halfway, like, fully acknowledge what she's saying and just see the difference in how she's going to respond to you after you. I hear what you're saying, that your business is down because, you get a lot of people that call in, and it's understandable during this time that it might be tough for you. Okay, let's try again. Sorry, anyway, I want to make sure that you guys, I'm going to make you ninja masters. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to help you guys. Okay.
Okay. So Jodine, I hear what you're saying, that your business is down, and this is definitely understandable because I'm hearing that from other clients. Absolutely. If we were to show you how to potentially still move forward without impacting your income, is that something of interest?
I'm really not sure. I mean, it would be very interesting to me to hear that, but I'm really not sure that I'm going to be able to buy on the other end, after I sell my house.
Right. Well, right now, and in terms of your motivation, you stated that you definitely want to sell because you're looking to downsize, correct?
We are, yes.
Okay, so that's still of interest to you and your husband at this time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And when we went through your needs analysis, you also mentioned that you actually already paid off your house, so your house is fully paid off, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So if we were to show you how we're able to sell your house at top market value, which would give you the money and the leverage to actually buy something of lower value and would actually lower your mortgage payment, is that still something of interest?
Yeah, it would be.
So I think what we can do is we can kind of go through where your house is in terms of what we can sell it for, and in terms of the properties that you can actually buy. And I can show you exactly how you actually will be saving money during this time. And it sounds like because you're losing income, that is definitely something of interest. Is that correct, Julie?
That would be very helpful. That would be very helpful.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's plan to go through the numbers again. and I
Time.
can show you exactly what we can do to.
Sorry, I was muted. I was like going time. I'm like, why? Okay.
Okay.
She is in it.
Good job,
Great
Tara.
job. I loved your pace. I thought you had a great pace, Tara. Like you had a really good pace, which is good. And I appreciate you going back and fully acknowledging. Did you feel the difference when Jodine, when she fully acknowledged what you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so yeah, you followed, love it. You did the conditional, then you handled it, and you realized that you had to go back and do the conditional again.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we work our way down, and we may have to kind of go back even and isolate another objection that they give us. So good job. Any feedback that y'all have for Tara? No? Okay. Steve, let's say you're the agent, and Rocel, I don't know if that's your first name, Rosel?
Rosalie.
Rosalie, okay. Rosalie, you're gonna be the potential lead or client. And so Steve, what's the one thing that you're finding? You're saying that a lot of sellers aren't ready to list right now. Is that what I was hearing?
Yeah, exactly. They want to wait 2 weeks or more.
Okay. So
Rosalie.
Rosalie, if you could please play that role of the seller where you want to wait to list your home, okay? So I'm going to time, we get 3 minutes, and this time I will remember that I've muted myself. So when my alarm goes off, I will unmute and let you know.
All right. Hello, Rosalie. It's Steve from Group Excelsior, and I make just an update with you. So it's the first of the month, so we have the new update for the house, for your house, and we think it's a great value right now. Do you think do you all do you do you think to sell right now?
You know what? Right now, I feel like it's not a good time. And besides, I really don't like people coming to my house. I feel unsafe right now. Especially right now, I have a new professor, and I don't like people coming to my house, and I don't want my house also to lowball all these buyers. So I
Yeah.
think I was gonna put it on until like when these all things going on, the craziness, 3 months. Try to call me back in 3 months.
Yeah, I understand perfectly. Just for my information, on 1 on 10, what is your motivation to sell your house in the next month?
Well, in the next month, hopefully you know, everything is going, back to normal, like kind of sort of normal. Um, Maybe I would say 7.
Sorry. Steve, could you please ask what causes you to make that decision?
Okay.
Okay. And see what she gives you. Okay.
Okay,
Because
cool.
the motivation is during the handling part.
Okay, perfect. So, what is the cause? What cause you want to wait?
Well, the really important thing that I just, want to wait, um, because I don't want people coming to my house right now at this time.
Okay.
And then I have a health issues, and I don't feel like I'm safe.
Okay. So, if we can put your house on the market, but not allowing visits and make just your front picture, is it something we can be all right for you?
Well, how people gonna buy my house without looking inside?
In fact, right now it's not about buying the house. It's more about the people are on the internet right now and they can look at the house. So if we have just one picture, we can have the curiosity, and 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 they can be and they can ask permission about the house. On 1 on 10, what is the motivation to sell your house in the next weeks?
Well, that's really a tough question. I mean, I really like to sell, but I feel like it's not the right time for me right now.
Time. Great job. Did you hear how when you asked her what causes you not to want to list, and she said because of my health?
Mm-hmm. So we
You
can
get
really
to
read.
the section like that with that question.
Okay.
Good job. Anyone have any feedback? And I loved on the scale of 0 to 10. That's a great question to ask. Feedback.
I would have suggested the virtual tour, definitely, because that's how we're doing them here in Texas. So she wouldn't have to worry about anyone coming through the home physically.
But in order to have the virtual tour, we need a photographer or something like that who go through the house right now, because here we can be two together if we are not of the same address of the same house, so we can actually just take the front picture and just that.
Yeah. So for those of y'all, Steve is from Quebec, and French is his first language. And in Canada, they're not allowing anybody to cross the borders. So their regulations are way different than ours. Mm-hmm. Very stringent. So one thing that I will share with you guys, what we're finding some coaches doing is they're doing like they're teaching their sellers how to use their phones to do a virtual tour for them. And they're also giving instructions on how to take pictures. So one thing that you could, Steve, implement is to have a with your clients, listen, let's not let this stop us, because we can do virtual online. We're seeing that it is very successful in regards to being able to, you take pictures or you walk through and give a tour of your home and send it to us. Okay, so let's see. Mariana,
hi.
You're the agent, and Beth or John, either one of you, y'all are the clients.
Okay.
So Beth, John, whichever one's the client, what objection are you going to give me, Mariana?
Job loss.
Job loss.
Job loss. We just had one where they did verification of employment and they're on furlough, so we were not able to close it.
Okay, let's go.
That's tough.
Yeah. Ready? Well, and this is great though, because we're all experiencing this, right? So we're going to hear how Mariana handles this, and then we're going to mastermind it and see what works for all, that we can help each other with. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try my best. I lost that, what you wrote. I lost it. I can't see it, but I'm going to do my best, okay? And please jump in to correct me if I stray. Okay. So, sorry, what's your name?
John?
John. Okay. John, so, hi, John. How are you doing? How is your family?
We're doing okay. We're just trying to figure out how we can move forward after this.
Yes, that's right. It's affecting everybody. And so I know how you feel. Last time we spoke, John, we were almost ready to list, and I was just calling you. When would be the best time to come over and start the process?
Well, right now I have to put everything on hold. With the coronavirus, we're literally unemployed right now. So, we will not be able to purchase.
I see. I can totally understand that. So what I hear you say is that you are right now unemployed and uncertain what future will bring.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Yes, we don't know what future will bring. I understand that. And but if I can show you that regardless of you losing your job temporarily, that we can still move forward, would you be interested in like chatting with me for and to actually starting the process, still putting a house on the market?
Mariana, hold on one second. Why don't you let's go to his finances with this one. This one's a little bit tricky. So okay, so he's lost his job. Okay, wow, that's I'm hearing what you're saying right now. Right now, you're wanting to put it on because of the loss of your job, and it's completely understandable. How can I help you?
How can I help
How can I help you? Ask him how. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit different because see, what we need to do is we need to be able to help him, because what if he's in a situation where we need to help him financially, right? Right now, we know that we're able to call our mortgage companies and ask them to let them know, hey, we've been affected. I've lost my job, and they can skip their payments actually without being hurt. So ask him the question, how can I help you? And let's see where it goes, okay?
How can I help you?
You know anyone looking for help for a job? I mean, I'm out there looking.
I see. Is your job like a temporary loss of the job, or do you think you will be rehired when all this is over?
They're saying temporary right now, but it's the unknown. We don't know how long it's going to be.
I see. Okay, Teresa, I'm at the loss here.
Okay. Well, okay. So yeah, John, I at the moment, I don't know of anybody. So it's just like when we ask our clients for referrals, right? And so they answer us, well, no, I don't know of anybody right now who's looking to buy or sell. No, I don't actually, John. And yet I will put something out there on Facebook because yeah, it is pretty hard right now. So let's talk about your financial situation. What's your concern in that? How are you guys holding up?
For now, I mean, we're going to start dipping into our savings and just trying to stay afloat best we can.
Okay. Yeah.
I see.
Well, have you gone through and looked at what your bills are in regards to where could you shave off 20% of what you're spending right now?
We have done that, and we're going back through to see if we can even slash some more. And I mean, from cable and phones, and yeah, trying to cut everything we can.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like you're doing everything possible, John, to get through this. And I just want you to know that I'm here to help. One thing that we're finding clients, what they're able to do right now is that they're able to call their mortgage companies and actually let them know that they've been affected by this. And they're able to not have to pay, they're able to skip the payment on their mortgage company. You just go online with your mortgage company, see if you have that option. That would be the first step after we get through talking. I would encourage you to do, and also call your credit card, the credit cards that you have. Let them know what you're going through right now. And please just know that I'm here to help. And if you have any real estate concerns, please let me know. Or if you know of anyone who needs help or has real estate concerns. Does that sound good?
That sounds excellent. I appreciate the information.
Perfect.
Do you know if that's a balloon payment at the end, or is it case by case?
Oh, no, it's not a balloon payment. They are literally, and there is no penalty to you.
Nice. Yeah. And no effect on the credit score?
No effect on the credit score, no penalty. All you have to do is go get in touch with your mortgage company and fill out online a quick survey.
Sounds great. I appreciate that.
You got it.
Wow.
Thank you.
It was a tough one.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you, Teresa.
Oh, you're welcome. No, that was a tough one, right? Yet, remember, we always come from contribution. How can we help them? Truly, some people are not in the situation to be able to buy. With Steve's situation with the seller, it was because her health and she couldn't get around. Well, if we were able to create something that would work for you, would you still be able to move forward? Right? Giving her that virtual package option. And even with Tara's situation, right, there was always a solution, and there was a solution for this buyer who lost, or this seller who lost their job. Let's help you out financially right now. Here are some options I'm hearing. Okay, great job.
Hey, Teresa, can I just chime in and make a note of something? Brian Halstead is from our Lodi office, and I don't know if you
saw Brian.
Did you see the backdrop? It's an April Fool's joke on me, his team leader. His backdrop actually said Remax. And I was like, what the heck? And he's like, April Fool's.
Today's April Fool's Day. Oh my God.
I love that, man. See, look at it. I was like,
funny.
Oh my God, what the heck? I was like texting him like,
that's hilarious.
Fantastic, Brian.
So speaking of, okay, so Brian, we're going to have you be the agent. And, Brian, you're the agent. And Karen, would you mind being the client, please? So Karen, give him a scenario of something that you're going through, you're a client. Brian, you're checking it. If you miss what we were doing, we're doing the tactic 5 of shift, where you're reassessing the motivation. And so calling Karen, asking her, she'll tell you, well, right now I've got a buyer that is da da da, and this is the situation, right? So so she's going to give it to you, and then you guys are going to role play for 3 minutes.
I don't do so good at this. So I probably better switch to the Remax thing. So it's okay.
Okay, Karen,
so I'm not, Teresa, I'm not completely sure. My water was just boiling from my tea. My son's taking it off, so I kind of missed what I'm doing. I'm sorry. My apologies.
So you're a lead, someone in Brian's pipeline that he called, and you have a situation. So what is that situation?
I'm a buyer lead.
Buyer or seller?
The buyer lead.
This is really like it's something you're going through, so that you're getting role played, and you can learn some objection handling on how to handle what you're
honestly, what I'm going through right now, because I have 4 listings that are not getting showings. That's my problem.
Okay, perfect. So then you're a client, right? And Brian, you're calling your seller to check in with her, and you're going to handle her objection. Ready? 3 minutes.
Okay, so what I understand is you don't know what kind of money you're going to have in the future for your purchase.
So I mean, we want to sell this before we buy something, because we don't want to take out another mortgage. This house is paid off, and we just want to buy another house. So, but I just don't understand why other houses are selling in this market or we're not getting showings.
That's a very difficult question to answer, because maybe with our excellent photography that we do in our virtual tour and our walkthrough, people are looking at it online. I'm tracking the statistics online, and we're getting a lot of showings there. And so the only other reason I could think that people may not be going to see that in person is the online photos don't reflect the price that we have it on the market for. Have you ever considered looking at those other houses online and seeing how they compare to yours at the same price level?
Yeah, I'm on Zillow all the time, and I see that ours is so much better.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the deceptive thing about photographs sometimes, but like yours has. I'm not putting you down. I'm not saying, I'm just saying if we're in a position where we want to sell that and buy another one, another house, maybe consider that you have tile countertops and not the granite that I see in so many of the other houses. I'm not recommending you change it. I'm just recommending that you consider that when you think maybe we should reduce the price a little bit.
Brian, can you ask her, how is it making you feel right now? Like ask her something that's logic makes you think, emotions make you react. what I feel like we're missing is what's important about getting your home sold. We need to get that. We need to get that. We need to get a little more fire under why she's selling. Does that make any sense?
Okay. Hey, Karen, you know, and let me back up. Let me first ask you, when I say that, what does that make you feel like?
When you say that my house isn't as good as the other ones?
And when I say your house is higher priced than the other ones in the same condition?
Well, you know, this is the price that we are going to, you know, that we won't go below.
Okay. So how does it make you feel that your house isn't selling? What does that bring to your mind?
I just don't know if it, you know, this is what they actually told me. Like, we don't know if it's ever going to sell. Like, maybe it's just not sellable, which isn't true. Every house is sellable.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel like, you know, we're just never going to sell the house.
Yeah, I hear you. I understand that. In my experience, we're just waiting for the right buyer. So there's where here's where I put the Remax sign behind me.
Time. You're so funny.
I think you did really pretty well, Brian. You had a lot of good points. Like, and I like the online showings that we have because of the tours and the photos, and people are seeing it online. We can see that they're seeing it. Like, I send them the reports, but I don't discuss that with them.
Yeah. Well, but I really love the point, and I don't do this enough. Is get the feedback on how my client feels. I feel like I can read their face, and a lot of time that's a mistake because they're poker facing, you know. And then if you just straight up ask them, well, how do you feel about that? You may open up a whole big old thing that of a problem that you can solve. And the way to solve a problem is to know where it's coming from. You know?
So a little feedback. I love, so there's a model, I think of it, the 100% true model, right? So whenever, when someone's saying, well, I've never, or it's never, is that 100% true? So what you're saying, nothing is ever? Right? And so what that does is that causes them to go, well, no, okay, it's not true, right? You did acknowledge and validate there on the second part, which was great, you know, when you acknowledged and validated with her. And then that's when she opened a little. Feedback from everyone. We're all in this. So feedback.
First of all, Brian, thank you so much for getting out of your comfort zone. I know this is a challenge for you, and I absolutely love seeing you grow as a team leader. I love seeing you grow as a friend. Love it. And if you put that balloon back on there, I'm locking you out of your office, just so you know.
I'm already locked out of my office.
Great job.
Yes, you are.
You had a great pace. Everyone's pace has been so good. I'm really proud of all of y'all. And where to grow would be more to the motivation. And when somebody tells you, well, no, my house would never, or never, is it 100% true? That's for all of y'all. Is it true? Is that 100% true? And good job on the acknowledging and validating. Okay, Mr. John, I would love for you to be the agent. And Crystal, are you still with us?
Crystal Jean?
Yes, ma'am, Crystal Jean.
I am, but I cannot role play. I'm dealing with my 4-year-old right now, so I'm doing my best to listen.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm very much listening.
Okay, perfect. Well then, Diane, if you could be the potential client for John. Diane, what are you experiencing right now that you're getting resistance on as a seller or a buyer that you can role play with John?
Right now, the sellers, we have 2 potential listings coming on and have now for some time, but they're busy, well, with 2 different scenarios. One has to travel from a certain area to get to their mom's house to get it ready to list, and they still have to clean it out, and they're afraid they're going to get stopped by the police to come up here to get the house prepared for sale. So it's just a logistics timing thing for them. So I have had to be careful about not pushing her too hard. So.
Okay, perfect. So John, you're going to call Diane, and she's a seller that you've been talking to. Okay. Go.
Hi, Diane. This is John Gary calling with Keller Williams. How are you today?
I'm pretty good.
How's the family?
They're good. You know, we're just trying to hunker down and stay close to home and not get out.
Right. Definitely understand that. That's kind of like most people. Just thought I'd check in and see how Mom's house is coming along.
Well, actually, it's pretty much come to a halt because we're just afraid to get out and come up there to try to clean it out still. I know you're anxious to put it on the market and we want to get it sold, but you know, it's just going to probably be another couple of weeks with this lockdown that we're in right now.
Okay. Is there anything I can do on my end to help assist this? Because right now we're seeing like lots of activity and, you know, definitely having some sales and good, you know, sales records. So, and I have some time on my hands. If, you know, maybe I could come over and do you have a contractor to take the stuff out of there?
Well, we had them before and we'd have to have them come again. But the only problem is there's only one key and I have it. No neighbor has an extra key and that's the problem. So without us being able to come up there and give you the key, which we would love to be able to do, you know, we're kind of at a standstill.
Okay. Yeah, definitely understand. You need a key to get inside.
Right.
Potentially, you know, how about, would you be able to drop it in the mail and we could kind of, just trying to help you move things along?
Well, that's
John,
an idea. That's an idea. I guess I could talk to my husband about that.
Would you acknowledge, I'd like for you to acknowledge in a different way. Acknowledge what she said and it's understandable, okay?
Okay.
You did, but you kind of did it all. You missed part of it. You said, yeah, you have to have a key. Okay, so what I'm hearing right now, these are the challenges you're having for us to move forward to get your home on the list, you know, listed, blah, 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 blah. And it's understandable. Yeah, those are important, you know, steps to take, and a key is important to have. Okay, let's start acknowledge it in that way, and let's see where we go from there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and I totally understand. I mean, key is definitely important. I lost my train of thought.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you're in fear to communicate, you know, for commuting over, you know, driving to the house because of the restrictions that they've enforced right now, and there's only one key to make this happen. So yeah, it's understandable that you would have some challenges right now. Okay.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, I mean, we're kind of putting everything on hold, just given the fact of the key situation. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And getting the stuff out of the house once we get there, you know, I have to hire the guys to remove the items and myself as well. I mean, there's a couch in there that needs to be removed. So, you know, it's a couple of things, getting the people there that need to get there, as well as the one key. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, totally understand. I just, you know, again, trying to think of how we can, you know, kind of move this along. So, you know, possibly if you could get that sent over in the mail, I mean, maybe I could reach out to the, you know, some movers that I have, and maybe we could at least get the stuff in the garage so we can move forward with getting the pictures taken.
Okay. Yeah, let me talk to my husband about that and see if he's wanting to do that.
Sounds great. Yeah, no, if there's anything else, you know, that I can do for you, please let me know.
Okay. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Take care of yourself. Be safe.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Good pace. Good pace. And did you hear once you know, whenever you acknowledged and validated in that way, how she was able to open up to you, and then you got her to the place where she said, okay, yeah, and you
Because it makes you
came up
think
with
about it more.
Yeah.
Like it.
Feedback. Anyone? Bueller?
I thought it was good. I mean, I think, like you said, the acknowledgement is the key. And sometimes we think we're acknowledging and we may not be acknowledging the way that, you know, that really drives home.
Super important. And yeah, great job. Thank you for participating. Miss Nadine. Okay, Nadine, you're the agent, please. Okay. And Renee, if you could be the client. And yes, so my upgrade did work. We can go right until 11 o'clock. And Renee, can you hear me? Okay. Michelle, would you mind being the client, the person that Nadine calls on?
I can. I have to hop over to another Zoom call at 9 o'clock that I'm putting on. So I can't.
Oh, so somebody's on the call. Okay, well then.
Wait. Here we go. Renee Sains can be on it. She's on the call. So she's another.
She's on a call.
No. She's on this call. So maybe we can call on her and ask her to do it.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
She just texted me, said she's on a call. She's on, yeah. Okay, so Steve, would you mind being the client? And Nadine is going to be calling you either as a lead or a client. Nadine, what are you experiencing right now that you need help on role playing as the agent?
Well, I have something that I'm anticipating I'm going to need help with, which is a price reduction on a listing that we listed a little bit higher, and we agreed that I would just do it for 1 month, and then we're going to drop it. It's an estate situation, and so there are many people involved, and one party wanted to list it, you know, even lower than what I was recommending, and the other party wanted to list it at higher than what we were recommending. So my anticipation is the 1 month is going to be up in a couple of weeks, because we listed it right before we kind of started sheltering in place here. And then I'm going to want to reduce it, and they're going to push back and say, well, nobody's been able to look anyways, so how do we know that we've actually tested the market? So yeah, is that enough detail? Is that good?
So Steve, she's met with you, and one agent said lower, another agent said higher, and she's that agent right in the middle.
No, I'm sorry. It's all of the sellers. It's an estate sale, so there are like 3 people involved.
Okay.
And they're in disagreement of how much to put it, and so we decided to list it at the higher, with the agreement that we're going to drop it in 1 month. And I'm just afraid that after I come to them now and say we're going to drop it, they're going to say, well, we haven't really tested the market because nobody's been able to go anywhere.
Okay. You got it?
I'm an existing client, and
yes.
It's time to reduce the price, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Hi, Steve. How have you been? How have you been handling everything going on?
Oh, hi. It's difficult right now. My wife lost his job, and the value of my action are down right now.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I know it's getting tough out there for a lot of people with jobs. You know that. So tell me, we have the house listed right now, and how important is it right now to sell the home?
Oh, we still need to change the sector, of city, and we need to sell. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, what I'm hearing you say is it's even more important to sell than it was a month ago when we originally listed it. Is that correct?
It's still in the project. So we have lost the job, we have lost the money, but we have some solution. We can go in the next city.
Okay.
But we need to sell at a high price for be able to get my solutions.
To get your solutions. Okay. So we know that you have to sell at the highest amount possible because right now netting the most is the most important thing, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. However, we also know that we have to sell. And if you remember when we chatted, when we first listed the property, we knew that we were listing it kind of high, but we listed it because we wanted to test the market at your request to see if there's a buyer out there for that price point.
Yep.
The fact that we haven't had any showings when we can see that in the last 7 days, we've had 90 properties go under contract in Wilson County. We've had 100 new listings here. And we've had, I think, 85 closings in the last week alone. The market is still moving, and yet nobody is looking at the house. We have a virtual tour. I have been boosting the ad on Facebook. We have had some clicks looking at it, but no one has been interested enough to actually make a move or even ask a question about it. So my recommendation would be the fact that you have to sell. I still want to net you the most, but I want to actually sell it for you. And the price that it's listed at right now, it's not going to sell. We've tested it, we've tried it. You tried it with the previous agent before me, and the facts and the numbers are all showing that it's not. Oh. I
Great job, Nadine. No, great job.
No, the speech is good. Yeah.
So I'm going to give my feedback, and then I would love for everyone else. Love that you're asking, how important is it to you, especially with the loss of his wife's job. And you did a great job of acknowledging and validating, and definitely, definitely did. I can tell that you're taking your notes and you're practicing. So good job. One area of growth is, maybe just keep it a little bit shorter on what you're doing. Yet I loved how you brought the stats into the conversation. That was really, really well done. Okay, feedback, guys.
Nice speech for real. If I will say no, it's just for saying no. So yeah.
I like when she said what I hear you saying. I think that's important to just get clarity on what you're hearing them say.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else?
And like you mentioned about the stats, I think that Teresa had mentioned it. It's important now more than ever to know what's going on in the market, because it opens up a whole nother conversation. Because if we don't know what's going on in the market, our clients have no idea what's going on. So now we're sounding more professional, more educated, more in charge, and getting the job done for them. And I think it just kind of opens up to, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. And to really get what you want.
I just want to say that I am applauding all of you guys. I can see that y'all are all showing up 100%, and I see the improvement. I see how y'all are improving. You're taking your notes, you're practicing, you're listening, and just keep showing up like you are, because you guys are definitely going to benefit from this. It's just causing you to be, you're living in cause versus effect. you're taking charge of what's happening right now. You're practicing. You are definitely taking note, and it's going to make a huge difference in how you do business. So good for you guys. I'm really proud of y'all. I'll see all of y'all on your calls, and hopefully see you Monday on the mindset call, and for sure next Wednesday again for our role play. Think of what you're struggling with and what challenges you have, so that you can bring it to this call and we can practice and help you guys grow. All of us, we're in this together. Okay.
Teresa,
Right on.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Everybody, I would start putting my full name on here, because I've done a friend request for everybody, and they're going to go into my referral network. You know,
Awesome.
so, if you do, I've sent a friend request on Facebook, and it just helps build your network.
Right on. Yep.
I know you all care, right? Or you wouldn't be
Good
here.
job. Very cool, guys. Yeah, great opportunity for us to referral and, you know, to do our networking and send referrals too. Okay, until next time. See y'all later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Uh-huh.